the excitement, the last lap action, and most importantly, the passion. It is time now for the Japanese Grand Prix. Hey guys, what is up? It is Matt1998 here, and I am back with a brand new video. This is part 33 of my F1 2014 Career Mode series, and here we are today for the Japanese Grand Prix. Freddie stepping into his Ferrari car now, and obviously this weekend we're expecting it to be quite a difficult one, as the Ferrari really doesn't suit the Suzuka circuit, especially in Sector 1, where you do need all that mechanical grip. Unfortunately, the Ferrari still doesn't have that, despite loads of R&D tasks completed throughout the season. The aerodynamic grip hasn't really been improved, although straight line speed is one thing that has definitely improved throughout the course of the season. Obviously, last time out we did decrease the championship lead to Hamilton after his crash that he had during the Singapore Grand Prix. We're going to aim to decrease that further in this race and try and challenge him if we can. It's going to be difficult. Without further ado, let's get into the qualifying report. At the sunny Suzuka, things would start off dreadfully for Williams driver Valtteri Bottas, as he impeded Sauber driver Esteban Gutierrez, and because the Mexican was eliminated from qualifying, the stewards handed the Finn a 10-place grid penalty. Pastor Maldonado was once again knocked out in Q1, as Freddie Gray struggled to 12. There was more drama in Q2 for Valtteri Bottas, as he couldn't avoid the Ferrari driver Freddie Gray, who had just rejoined for an off-track excursion. Both lost their front wing as a result, but were able to continue and make the top 10. It was a Mercedes-dominated session, as Lewis Hamilton led teammate Nico Rosberg by 0.07 of a second. Fernando Alonso was their closest challenger in third. Kevin Magnussen and Sergio Perez were the unfortunate ones to miss out. In Q3, Freddie Gray decided not to set a time in the session in order to save a set of option tyres for the Grand Prix. He would start 9th thanks to Bottas' penalty. It was another minuscule margin separating the two Mercs, but it was Lewis Hamilton who ended the session as the happier Mercedes driver. Fernando Alonso followed through in third, with Sebastian Vettel in fourth and Daniel Ricciardo in fifth.
The gap to Mercedes is always going to be big, but I think the gap to Seb was still too much. Would like to be closer, but in saying that, we're ahead of the Williams, so that's positive.
So all this meant it was another Merc-dominated session. With Alonso and the Red Bulls close behind, it was most certainly not going to be a straightforward run to the flag. But anyway, it's now time for the Japanese Grand Prix. So here we go then guys, the Japanese Grand Prix today, and obviously we do start 9th after what was a really disappointing qualifying session. Freddie really just couldn't find any pace in that Ferrari whatsoever around Suzuka in that qualifying session. Obviously he does start 9th due to Valtteri Bottas' penalty that he got in Q1, but overall it will be a tough race though. We need a good first stint, as our pace on the primes won't be too good. As you can see, that's what our final two stints will be. We will be on the prime tires for both of those stints. It's going to be a very tough race though. Let's just hope we can finish in the top 5 is probably the most we can really aim for today. But anyway, let's go out on track.
Okay mate, we still have a great chance of the World Championship. Let's just keep it together and get a good result here today.
Obviously, Freddie really shouldn't be thinking about the championship as of yet. We just got to take every race as it comes, as the lights are about to go out here at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, and they are out and away we go here for the Japanese Grand Prix today. Freddie getting off to a pretty good start, a bit better than Felipe Massa directly ahead of him. We can just see him now. Going to try and go round the outside of the Williams driver there, Felipe Massa. And in fact, Perez almost hits the back of Freddie Gray's tyre there. So very close to a bit of contact, an unfortunate bit of contact, which could have meant that Freddie may have had to have pitted in for a new set of tyres, possibly even giving him a puncture. But I don't think that's possible with the realistic damage model, so I doubt that would have happened. You can see Jenson Button, who was originally ahead of us, Freddie managed to get back ahead of him. So Freddie has already gained a position at the expense of the McLaren of Jenson Button. Felipe Massa directly ahead of him now, followed by Hulkenberg and Nico Rosberg, who has dropped back quite a bit from the start. Obviously, Rosberg really not getting off to the best start at all. But as you can see, Jenson Button still challenging Freddie here, still putting the Ferrari driver under pressure. Now Freddie does defend that position quite well, as Button never really made too much of a charge there. As you can see, going up into the hairpin now, where Freddie might be putting off quite a few moves in this race. Obviously, this is Kobayashi corner, where Kamui Kobayashi back in 2010 pulled off all of his moves up in there, and that was a great race that day, the 2010 Japanese Grand Prix. But back onto this race now. As you can see, Freddie is right behind Felipe Massa, although he does struggle to get the traction out of that corner, out of spoon curve. And you can see Jenson Button is right behind him now, hassling Freddie, and Jenson Button could go to the outside here, but the thing is, it's been a decent start so far from Freddie. Hamilton has maintained the lead, which is unfortunate for ourselves. But as you can see, Freddie is actually going to go wide here, and Freddie understeered off the track. Very surprising there, actually. Don't think Freddie was expecting that at all. The Ferrari should be able to easily go through 130R without understeering off the track. Obviously, that was not the case on lap 1 here. Freddie just taking a bit too much, but I suppose he didn't really take the right lines into that corner. But in the end, he did defend the position from Jenson Button. He's got kind of an equal gap at the moment to Massa ahead and Button behind, so he's going to receive no real challenge. You can see there's quite a few cars battling ahead, and that's Rosberg actually off the track. The Mercedes driver of Nico Rosberg has run off the track after battling with who I believe is Ricciardo and Hulkenberg. He was battling with the head, and obviously that cost Rosberg a lot of time, and for some reason he was forced out wide, or he just decided to run wide himself. As you can see, we've got Felipe Massa bearing down on Felipe Massa. Going to go for an opportunistic move, for a daring move up the inside of the Williams driver. They're really unexpected. That sort of happened quite quickly there. I don't think Freddie was ever intending on making that move. I think he was surprised at how slow Felipe Massa was going through 130R, and he just saw the opportunity and just went for it, Ray. And Zach Button has also made his way past the Brazilian driver. As you can see, he's giving us the Massa camera a look. It looks as if Kevin Magnussen is actually going to try and go for the move on Felipe Massa. So he's going to go up the inside, but I think Magnussen did back off in the end. But as you look behind here, Felipe Massa actually ran wide, so Magnussen is through, and it goes from bad to worse for Felipe Massa, the Williams driver. I don't know whether Felipe Massa has a problem or something. He seemed to drop back ever since Freddie passed. Maybe that's why he was going so slowly through 130R. I don't really know. As you can see, Button also challenging Freddie once again, putting him under an awful lot of pressure. That's what those two McLaren drivers were doing throughout this first stint, although they never really ended up making a move. You can see Button did actually end up backing off, and Magnussen did try to make a move, but again, none of those succeeded in making moves. Now Button got the inside of turn 1 here, once again backs out, and again, that really was the story of this first stint. But look ahead, that is Fernando Alonso, who's just rejoined, I believe, from an off-track excursion, I think. So I think Alonso, battling with Hulkenberg and Ricciardo ahead, actually ran off the track, was forced off the track, and he's lost even more time. Now he's down into 5th position, so that's more points lost there for Ferrari. Obviously, there is still over 20 laps to go in this Japanese Grand Prix. But now Jensen Button once again going to try and go for the move, going to try and go around the outside of the Casillo triangle here, but he doesn't manage in doing so. Button once again just not going for the move. Shame to see, really. The AI just need to go for more moves on this game in future F1 games. But as you can see, Button going to try and get better traction out of the final corner. And Jensen Button's going to get the DRS with that straight line that's been advantage. How he should easily pass Freddie, who is in a Ferrari engine, obviously Jensen Button this season using a Mercedes engine, but Button going to go inside. I think Button's got the move sorted there, but then Freddie crashes into the back of Jensen Button there, loses a bit of his front wing, and that's going to mean that Freddie has an extended pit stop for his first scheduled stop, which I believe will be this lap, as his tyres are really beginning to wear now, and that was the reason why Button really just found it so easy to pass and get much better traction than him out of the final corner. So Button will just pull away from it, so I think it will be sensible for Freddie to pit in this lap.
Right, the tyres seem to be wearing quite badly. We want you to pit this lap, box this lap.
So the Ferrari engineers do agree with Freddie, so we will be pitting in this lap for a new set of tyres, a set of prime tyres. As you can see, Vettel setting the fast lap, really keeping Hamilton honest at the front, as I mentioned earlier. So let's just hope that Vettel can keep on challenging Hamilton, force him into a mistake perhaps, because we do not want Hamilton to be gaining maximum points on us today. Because today we will not be fighting for a podium or anything like that, because our pace just doesn't seem to be up to scratch here at Suzuka. Really just the track, I think it's mainly Sector 1, but the Ferrari just really lacks any sort of mechanical grip. I think that's where Freddie has been struggling all weekend, and hopefully we won't drop too far down the order here as we do make our first pit stop of the day. Obviously a bit of an extended stop as we did have to change our front wing as he dropped behind Max Chilton in 16th. Now Nico Rosberg actually behind us, but I believe he pitted in this lap. I think Rosberg did actually end up retiring from the Grand Prix in the end, so I make the 4 retirements in a row for Nico Rosberg. Obviously it's pretty clear now that Mercedes are fully focusing on Lewis Hamilton, but what Mercedes have to remember, as I said in Monza, that Ferrari are actually really closing them down in Constructors' Championship. If they end up losing the Constructors' Championship, that really just serves them right for really not focusing on fixing Rosberg's car, because it's clearly not fixed. 4 retirements in a row, that's just not normal for a Mercedes car especially. But as you can see, coming out the pits now, I believe, is Kevin Magnussen. So the moment of truth will be revealed right here. Will we rejoin ahead of Kevin Magnussen? That is Kevin Magnussen directly ahead of us. So Kevin Magnussen has actually rejoined ahead of us here. And that pit stop cost Freddie a lot of time. Now he's going to have to overtake Kevin Magnussen out on track.
You're in P8 as well as closing down Magnussen. Make sure you look after your tyres as we want to extend this stint.
So as well as trying to close down and Magnussen and actually overtake him, the Ferrari team also want us to extend this stint out. So I think what the Ferrari strategy team want us to do, I think they want us to extend this stint out to about lap 19 or lap 20 and going on the option tyres at the end of the Grand Prix. So I think that's the only way we'll be able to get a higher position than 7th place today, because Button and Alonso are just way too far ahead. And only a retirement really from either of those two drivers can see us finishing higher than 7th place in this Grand Prix. But speaking about 7th place now, we might even be promoted up into that position as we have the DRS on Kevin Magnussen right now. Going to go up the inside of the Danish driver here, and we have pulled off the move there up the inside of turn 1. And now what it's all about now is just Freddie needs to try and capture a Button if he can for the rest of this stint, because he can't really do much else. Just look after the tyres now and try and keep Magnussen behind. But the rest of this stint was really just Freddie trying to fend off Kevin Magnussen. Kevin Magnussen made no real charge up the inside. But now on lap 18, a couple of cars did come into the pits. I believe Jensen Button was one of them, as we are now up into 5th position. I believe I think it was Hulkenberg and Button that actually came into the pits. But now looking at looking a little bit later on, Fernando Alonso actually, who's actually doing the pits and stuff, we're looking at him at the moment. He's going to try and lap backmarker here of Max Chilton. He's actually crashed to the back of him. So Fernando Alonso's lost his front wings. This could mean that Freddie could actually finish ahead of his teammate here. Fernando Alonso crashing into the back of Max Chilton. It looks like he can continue. He looks like he'll be going to the pits this lap, so that's cost Fernando Alonso a little bit of time, but he does appear to be actually understeering. He's crashing into the wall. Fernando Alonso is out of the Grand Prix. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton the fastest lap, but wow. So, Fernando Alonso out of the Japanese Grand Prix, somewhat expected there. Such a shame really to see Fernando Alonso retiring once again, meaning we won't gain maximum points on Mercedes. So, pretty much Ricciardo in third has already pitted, so we have already lost so much time to him. So I think the maximum position we can get today is probably 6th place, as Alonso has now retired, but really is such a shame for Alonso. Really not his fault. Well, to be honest, it was, because it was just an understeer moment that he had, and he just crashed into the pit wall. So really it was his own fault there, and obviously Max Chilton should have really been, should have gone out of the way for Alonso a bit better than he did there. But now, will Kevin Magnussen rejoin ahead of us? That is the question now, as we do turn off the pit limiter now. Magnussen is already ahead of us. He's charging past us here, and Magnussen is up into 7th position. So, but on the option tyres, however, which are the tyres we are on right now, Magnussen will probably be easy meat for Freddie. As you can see, I think Freddie's going to wait for the DRS activation point here before he tries and overtakes Kevin Magnussen, putting it up into Richmond to gain a little bit of acceleration out the corner, although we do get a little bit of oversteer, but doesn't really cost us too much time at all. As we open up the DRS with the rich mix, we're going to cruise past Kevin Magnussen here, up into 6th position. And really what we've got to do now, we've got to try and catch up Button and Hulkenberg if we can. I believe they're both on the prime tyres, so Freddie does have the advantage at the moment. As you can see, he is going purple in Sector 2, so I think this will be a fast up of the race for Freddie Gray here. So he really is setting great pace at the moment, setting a 1 minute 39 dead there.
Okay, that was the fastest lap of the race. We know it might be difficult, but try and close in on Button and Hulkenberg.
So our engine is actually wanting us to catch up to Button and Hulkenberg if we can. You can see they're 12.5 seconds ahead, but I really don't see it happening due to the fact that the gap in front is so large at the moment. Now, skipping on to lap 26, the gap ahead, we have closed it down to 7.6 seconds, but I really just do not see it happening at all, and our tyres have really gone off at this point. As you can see, getting a very big oversteer moment out of the final corner there. And don't forget, Kevin Magnussen is only just behind, so if our tyres literally do go off the cliff on the final lap, Magnussen will be there to pick up all the pieces and will finish ahead of us in 6th position. But as you can see on the screen right now, Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix. We get a bit of a swapper on there out of the exit of Spoon Curve, and Kevin Magnussen's caught right up to us. Our tyres literally went off the cliff so dramatically. So we are in for a really tense finish here, guys. You can see Kevin Magnussen gaining with the slipstream that he has with that Mercedes engine in that McLaren car. He's going to try and go around the outside of 130 up, but it's not going to work out. Freddie actually understeers off ever so slightly, and Magnussen's going to go around the outside of him, entering the Casillo triangle now. Seems as Freddie's actually defended position, but then coming around the front, because this is where he had the massive oversteer moment last lap. In fact, he's had it again, and Max is actually beside us. He's going to have the DRS, the activation points, literally before the line. We're going to put up into Richmond just to defend the position, and we've just about done it there.
Don't be too disappointed with the result today. We've still got 4 more races to go.
So really, Freddie shouldn't be too disappointed with that result, considering he wasn't really expecting too much more from today's Japanese Grand Prix. As you can see up front, Lewis Hamilton finishing in first. Sebastian Vettel really couldn't challenge Lewis Hamilton in the end after that first stint, where he was literally within a second of him throughout that entire first stint. Unfortunately, Vettel couldn't maintain that pace, and Lewis Hamilton just pulled away in the end. But now in the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton on 276 points, Freddie Gray on 227, so it is really looking unlikely now that we will see the Drivers' Championship this year. But don't forget, there's still 4 races to go, and anything can happen in those 4 races. So we still do have an extra great chance of the World Championship. But once again, in the Constructors, we have lost points to Mercedes. We're exactly 50 points behind them now. So if you want to, steal the Constructors' Championship, we've got to gain some points on Mercedes in the upcoming races. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.